Round 16 of VFL action on Grandstand. It was a top-of-the-table clash between Bendigo and the Casey Scorpions, David Rees-Jones. And what we saw is a football team that refuses to acknowledge that it's beaten, and the Casey Scorpions win a close one again.
They're an amazing football team, and it was just an amazing game of football. It was a game where Bendigo dominated for probably 90% of the game, but not good enough to get over the line at the end.
And we saw some impressive stuff early from Jack Fitzpatrick. Not bad for a bloke who's about 200 centimetres or so.
Yeah, fantastic athleticism from the big fella, and he shows a bit. He's a good young player. But, look, we just saw that, Bendigo, they were able to control the play. They had all the work out of the midfield. They were winning the clearances. They were winning right over the ground. They were able to bring the ball through the midfield, use the corridor well. And we see Casey getting a goal here, and they just hung in there. That's all they did for the first three quarters, basically hung in there.
At that stage, after Page kicked that goal, they were 7 points up, but then it began a period where Bendigo completely dominated the game. They took over in the second half of the first quarter with goals through Little and Dalgleish, and then they kicked the first three of the second quarter, including this remarkable goal to Hal Hunter. And all of a sudden, they'd kicked 5 unanswered goals, and they were completely in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and the momentum is a wonderful thing. I mean, they had all the momentum, Bendigo, throughout the first three quarters, and how it changed after that.
And there was this one little patch in the second quarter where Evans, Morton and Williams kicked goals for the Casey Scorpions. This was after a goal that Fitzpatrick could have and should have kicked at the other end. Little kicked the goal, took the lead out to 22, and that looked as though it was going to be a pivotal moment in the match.
Yeah, it really was. It was, as you called it at the time, an 11-point turnaround, really, and should have been a goal at one end, went straight down the other end. But you've got to give credit to Brett Lovett and the coaching panel at Casey. Their team just doesn't give up, and they've won a lot of games this year by small margins. They've been fantastic. And
they beat the press again. We just saw Evans kicking a goal, which was almost a carbon copy of the goal he kicked in the second quarter. And then Gent was able to kick a couple of really important goals in the last quarter. And the goal from Jake Spencer, who was fabulous throughout the day, well, he'll be replaying that for the rest of his life, I reckon.
I think so. And it was just a terrific effort. I mean, a never-say-die attitude from this Casey Scorpions team. It propelled them to the top of the ladder, and that's fantastic. Port Melbourne have been up there for a long time now. We see the big fella Spencer kicking the winning goal. Magnificent work.
It was fabulous. That was at the 26-minute mark. It gave them the lead for the first time since midway through the first quarter, and somehow they find a way. When that siren sounds, they find a way to win. For the 7th time this season, they win a game by single digits. Quite remarkable. And the Scorpions go to the top of the ladder. Bendigo, well, they can take a lot out of the game as well. The only thing they really don't take out of the game is the 4 points.
And that's the most important thing, and they really should have got the 4 points. They're the better team on the day, but the better team doesn't always win.
Scorpions win by 3, 11-11-77 to Bendigo, 11-8-74. It was a thriller on Grandstand.